Fellow Nigerians, it is my pleasure once again to speak to you. Um, we are all Nigerians and we are working hand to hand and collectively to make sure that we define the type of country that we want. We defined the kind of democracy that we want. We defined the kind of change that we want. And by doing so, we must exploit informations or explore informations from one point to another. All right, and create a database whereby people will find it difficult, whereby people will find it very easy to visit the data and extract information. Still on 2023 national and presidential election. It's a heartbeat in average Nigerians and other Africans who are looking up to Nigeria to do something different in their electoral process. A lot of Africans in a lot of countries in Africa, they are looking to, or they are looking at Nigeria as their father and mother. All right, so whatever that goes wrong in Nigeria affects other Africans, because in every 10 Africans, there must be about 7 Nigerians. All right, and the 7 Nigerians are influencing the Africans, brothers and sisters that we are around them. All right, so there is a country that held a similar election that we had in Nigeria, and the country is Kenya. Kenya deployed all the electoral gadgets such as beaver machines, bimodular machine for accreditations, and in fact similar electoral processes. All right, and the Commonwealth Organization, who visited or who was on the ground to observe the election, said that the election in Kenya was free, fair, and transparent. Right? The team was led by Jamaican president. All right. Though they still advise that there are other places or other areas where Kenyan government should improve more in order to have the best electoral system in Africa. Then I'm so much happy that such a news will be taking place in Africa. I'm so much happy that Africa have begun to rediscover her potentials in electoral processes. Then I now come back home and begin to ask, why is that in Nigeria our electoral process is still kind of bad? Because what makes it bad is that all the promises and guidelines, regulations that INEC promises us and put in place, for instance, 2022 Electoral Act, all right, all the regulations and guidelines in the act wasn't practiced, right? And that is a moral question, all right? I think that is a moral question because if the mind is standard and willing to follow the rules in any gadget or computer, it will deliver the results that we intend to achieve. All right. So but I really observed one thing, and the thing is in financial aspect of the electoral process. Kenyan spent about $383 million to execute election whereby 21 million people are going to vote. All right, that is the registered voters are 21 million. But back in Nigeria, there were 91 million voters registered already that are willing to vote, that are eligible to vote. And the federal government spent about 305 billion, which is equivalent to $665 million in a population of with population of 91 million voters, while Kenyans had only 21 million voters and spent $383 million. At least you can see the difference that the money federal government budgeted in the election was very, very poor. And the two, Kenyans started the election from 6 a.m. and closed at 5 p.m. while Nigeria claimed to start by 8 a.m. and stopped by 2:30 p.m. But in some cases, there was late arrival of materials in some areas, and there was late election commencement in some areas. So we have to look into all these details and trying to redesign it and trying to upgrade it and trying to advise government upon which they are going to do some certain things in a certain time so that we can have a better result. If Kenyan will have an election that Commonwealth Organization determined that it was free and fair and transparent, why won't Nigeria have such an election whereby United Nations and other foreign observers will come forward and say yes, that this election is free and fair? I think it is time for us to come together and discuss about our electoral processes with our government. It is not, everything shouldn't left for government alone. The citizens must contribute from one way or another severely in order to have a better country. Thanks, you all, my fellow Nigerians.